Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me here on the beach. It's a beautiful morning. I want to talk to you about something that's been on my mind lately. If you've been following my videos, you know that my previous video before this one was concerning relapse. I shared the fact that I have multiple friends who have recently relapsed. And it's really, I can't say that it has scared me. There's no fear really involved in that. However, I feel the need to double up a little, one of the things that I think is a misconception in the program is that, once you've been through the steps, all you really need are, the last 3 steps to maintain. I've heard them called the maintenance steps. Just, to maintain what you got from the first 9. And, and then help other people. Well, that may be the case for some people, but I am finding that by eliminating the first 9 steps from my routine, I may be suffering because of that. In step 1, we identify the problem. And the goal is step 12. That's where the spiritual awakening has taken place by then. What makes me think that I can't do it again? Continue on with the steps. Continue working the steps. That's recovery. That's the action that we're supposed to be taking in recovery, is the 12 steps. And so for me to pick and choose, and I don't care how long you've been sober, that's picking and choosing. Doing 10, 11, and 12 only? See, the thing is that personally, as an alcoholic, I tend to revert to my old ways. My old ways of thinking, my old ways of doing, my behavior is easily, it's easy to go back to my old behaviors. I used to hear it a lot. If you're still doing it, it's not an old behavior. It's a current behavior. And so, when that dishonesty crops back up again, or, the selfishness and self-centeredness and all of those things that we have tried to eliminate through the steps, they come back. And so, if you want to maintain, start with step 1. It requires all 12 steps for me to remain happy, joyous, and free. I can't just, do the steps one time, go to meetings, working steps 10, 11, and 12 only. I have found through time and multiple inventories that there's stuff that crops up, man. Even in sobriety. There are things that crop up that I need to deal with, especially if I want to stay sober. In the beginning, I was told that if you want what we have, and you're willing to go to any lengths to get it, I'm willing to go to any lengths to keep it. If you've had the good fortune to have taken all 12 of the steps, then you know what a spiritual awakening is. Having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. When it says these principles, what do you think it's talking about? It's talking about the steps. Those are the principles. Now, I've heard, the principles behind the steps and all that. Look, it boils down to the 12 steps. If you're not practicing all 12 steps, you're not fully in recovery. I have made some changes recently because of the fact that some friends have relapsed lately. I made changes in my program that I feel are positive changes. When someone that I care about relapses, it has a tendency to make me look at my program. Am I doing all I can to recover and to stay recovered? It's possible to feel somewhat stagnant, and that's not good when you're working with someone else. The message, hello, the message that you have to give shouldn't be stagnant. It should be alive, man, So anyway, the change that I made was I looked up an old sponsor of mine. He was one of those guys that I asked to sponsor me in the beginning when I wanted what he had, but I wasn't willing to go to any lengths to get it. So I went to him and I asked him if he would take me through the steps in the fashion that he does it. I've noticed through time and different sponsors and things that everybody has a different way of approaching the 12 steps. But the similarities are incredible too. Yes, good morning. So the similarities are it's the exact same 12 steps, and it starts out with identifying the problem and then bringing you to your goal of step 12 with the spiritual awakening and being able to help others. I want to help others with something that's worth them hearing. I don't want to just maintain. I want to grow. I want to continue to grow. And I want to be able to spread the message. I want to be able to spread a good message. Not a message that's stale. Not a message that I've gained, 12 years ago or whatever. No. I want to be able to spread a message that's fresh, and clean, and on fire for the program, on fire for recovery, and on fire for being happy, joyous, and free. I can't do that by just working steps 10, 11, and 12. So, right or wrong or indifferent, this alcoholic is shifting his recovery into high gear. I'm doubling up on all of it. I've got a new sponsor. I'm going to go through the steps again with a new person who has what I want, and I'm willing to go to any length to get it. So I hope, I don't know, I'm not encouraging anyone to, get a new sponsor or go through the steps again, although it's not a bad idea. If you've been sober a while, your program gets stale. There's just no two ways about it. It does. It gets stale after a while. You go to meetings, you hear the same thing, you say the same thing, you study the same portions of the book. Speaking of the book, have any of you noticed that each and every time you go through that book, you find something you don't remember ever seeing? Don't you think maybe a fourth step might be like that too? You might find something that you missed before. The book says that more will be revealed. So I'm getting ready to reveal more. I'm taking the action necessary to remain happy, joyous, and free. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you out here on the beach next time. Bye-bye.